Really do the whole stare. They need to like move the camera up.
I know.
So you can really do the whole like down behind. You know, you do it behind a couch or something like that.
I'll just do the elevator.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
All right, let's talk about the Northeast. And Jim had kind of alluded how it's going to stay stormy here in the Northeast. And the reason being, or part of the reason I should say, is we have a big high pressure that's kind of southern plains southwest. And so that really directs everything right into the Northeast. And so get prepared to deal with several days of not only clouds, but showers and even thunderstorms. The hot air is still in place ahead of the system. That's the one thing that we will get is a little bit of relief from all of this heat and humidity. It has been so humid for us here in a lot of places. And so as we go through the day today, here's our little boundary, and notice some of those stronger thunderstorms. They definitely have the potential to really crank. And we do have some winds that could also enhance these, as you know, kind of energizing the storms for us. And there is plenty of moisture in the atmosphere, as you can feel that just being outside with the humidity. Buffalo, some thunderstorms due this morning all the way down into places like West Virginia, Kentucky. Look at the humidity. This is what I'm talking about. All that moisture in the atmosphere that we can just squeeze out. You might be doing the dishes right now while you're watching us, squeezing out that sponge. That's what it's going to be like here into the Northeast. So let's roll through the day and show you that with all of that warmth, that's going to bubble up and enhance things, especially as we head around 5 o'clock. Things are really going to be popping off here. So if you're at Penn State, maybe running, you know, in between classes with the umbrella. It's so funny in college. Some people do the early morning classes, some do the late, you know, classes. Some people will do everything on like Tuesday, Thursdays. Nowadays, though, I feel like you can do so much online. Jim, speaking online, we'll see a line fire up again into our Friday. And it stays here, as you said, for several days.
Yeah, a couple of days of what we call marginal severe. So
do it with me?
No.
Are you sure?
No, because I get to do it later, too.
Okay. So you're okay. All right. Very good. All right, let's have a look at what's going to happen with Lee as it moves closer to the U.S. What we have right now, Jim was mentioning, I love that, an athlete over the Atlantic. And when you have a high pressure over these systems, that allows low pressure at the surface to bring all the gunk up, and then it evacuates out of the top. That's why Jim was saying that it looks like it's breathing, because it is with this high pressure, low pressure at the surface. If you look at kind of a quintessential hurricane setup, that's what you'll see. Low at the surface and high, pulling everything away up here so it can keep growing like that. Pretty interesting stuff. Here's a look at the GFS model. North of the islands here, though, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, we're all going to see rough surf and rip current as we head into the weekend. There's Bermuda. The big question is it going to go closer to Bermuda or closer to the U.S.? Here's the European model. Again, still bringing waves to the islands. We know that's going to happen. And there it is, maybe a little bit farther west of Bermuda, but obviously we'll still be feeling the effects of this. And by the way, we're still going to feel the effects of it along the East Coast, especially because of the waves. So here's really the simplest version of what's going to happen. There's a lot of different things happening in the atmosphere, but you have a high pressure here. And so the storm is going to go around the western edge of that high. And then we have a trough coming in from the west. And so it looks like a squeeze play between the two. The question is it going to go closer to Bermuda, or is it going to get closer to the East Coast? There's a lot of things that depend on that. The strength of a high, the movement of the high, the trough, exactly when that comes in, how deep it is. There's so many different players in the atmosphere that we'll be watching. I would say if you live in New England, I would keep a very close eye on this. And again, if you're going to the beaches here along the East Coast, watch out for the waves and the rip current. So our models have everything bunching up north of the islands, which is great. A lot of warm waters as well. And then there's that turn to the north. So the question is, do we get clipped into, say, Massachusetts and Maine, or does this thing slam into Canada like Fiona did just last year, and they just got rocked by Fiona, if you remember that. Now, what are we going to be dealing with otherwise? I was talking about the beaches. You're going to see it anywhere from the Florida beaches really all the way up the East Coast here. And the closer it is, obviously, the stronger that those waves and those rip currents will be. And here's the thing, Jim. We've had a lot of storms that have taken this path and hit the U.S., but this one really does look like a northeast event. Nothing really to push it into the southeast.
A lot of confidence this will eventually turn.
Noon on pattern, remote workers. Good morning, Philadelphia. From everyone here at America's Morning Headquarters, we hope that you have a really good day. You're heading into the mid-90s on this Thursday, the 7th of November. I should say September. I don't know why I just fast-forwarded to November, but your temperature will feel like a sticky and sweaty and schwitzy 102. Hang tight. Cool down is coming this weekend. By this time next week, a refreshing change. Some in the Northeast could see highs only in the 60s. Let's have a look at Philadelphia over the next 5 days. And notice our average here, if we go all the way over, is 82 degrees. We are well above that. Today, tomorrow, dropping down, and we're getting closer to average as we head into the weekend and into next week. We will see schools dismiss early today and tomorrow, Jim, because of the temperature, which, by the way, remember, this is taken in the shade and does not count the humidity. So it's going to feel like it's 100 or more in some places.
I don't know about you, but focusing in the heat.
And it is super warm. That's one of the reasons. That's the thing is, you know, revving up.
Right. That's
and
part of the equation.
It's
Absolutely.
the air, it's the water. I mean, you can't escape the warmth anywhere,
No,
it seems like, you know.
Yep.
Look at all the advisories we have. We have 70 million in advisories from the south on into the northeast. So many of us are feeling this heat. Our temperatures right now are in the mid-80s into Dallas, Houston, the low 80s. It is hot when you walk out there, and then you factor in all this juicy air. Woof. It's definitely going to make you sweat. Definitely going to make you sweat if you're going out for a run. And we could see record-setting temperatures again. Look at Amarillo, 4 degrees, breaking a record that we just set in 2021. That is not great news for us here. We could also break a record in San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, all